nobody probably would have seen Sean Walsh being here, but he's really earned his right, and here we are.
I deserves it. He won his 3 games yesterday. He's after waiting up patiently all day. He's after taking out David Hogan, winner of the 2 Challenger Series, and why not have him as a winner?
And Sean Walsh to break off in the final. He's gone dry. It's not the ideal start, but it is a messy layout, which...
Yeah, it suits him,
Do you know what? Similar to Ronan White, actually, who played Stevie earlier today. That first scrappy layout actually really did Ronan a favour because it helped him settle into the game a bit. And against Stevie, who's just such a prolific clearer, a frame like this will just be good to settle Sean in.
Big time. You will see, I don't know how Stevie's feeling, but it's making his work harder, I don't know, for the first frame.
Gary, I'm going to let you go. All the best, mate, and enjoy watching along as well. So that was Gary Bracken, ladies and gentlemen, and I am in the booth here with Pierce Sharrett. Pierce, I mean, what an event and what a final we've got.
Yeah, I mean, what a 2 days we've had. It's been a spectacle. I don't think too many people are going to be surprised to see Stevie Dempsey in the final, but Sean Walsh, what a performance.
I mean, he was my surprise package for the weekend because those 3 games that he played on the Friday, I think it was Friday evening he played, wasn't it? The first couple of games. The last 2 games he played in order to get himself through the 3, he was just sublime. There was just no faults, no errors, and he played 2 players that were fairly imperious and just made look simple work of him.
Yeah, he's been... Sean Walsh has been a great player for, I'd say, a very long time. I think he's still only 19, you know, but he genuinely has been a great player since the age of 10, 11, 12, you know, a real serious talent. And he stepped away from Pool for a little while, and I'm so delighted to see him back. I couldn't actually believe it when I saw him. I hadn't seen him in quite a few years, and he sprouted up considerably. But, I mean, the natural talent is frightening. And if we go by how Stevie Dempsey played towards the end of that Ronan McCarthy match, he's going to have to pull his socks up because Sean Walsh has been an absolute machine.
Yeah, and I think what we were saying earlier on with Gary Bracken as well was the fact that Stevie just looked like he was starting to tire a little bit. He's had a long event. He's had to play 9 games to get to this point. Nobody else has had to do that many. But it's so hard to maintain your focus for that long.
Well, this is our 27th match of the weekend. Stevie's played in a third of them. You know, I know how good he is, but to be able to sort of maintain that, you know, drive and focus constantly, that's tough.
And Sean Walsh is in here, and it's a quick start would make things very, very interesting, I think.
Yeah, it certainly puts it up to Stevie. You know, another interesting dynamic. They are playing for the first prize, but they're also playing for all the remaining bounty money too.
Yeah, this is a huge match in terms of financial gain for both players, but
obviously we've seen Ronan Fay in the opening match yesterday morning, seems like a long time ago. Ronan Fay with an instant win, so he knew after one match that he was on 250 quid, but the remaining 3 bounties, £750 in total, is in play in this match. The winner will take the whole lot.
Yeah, and I mean, for Sean, as I say, I mean, speaking to him earlier, he just wanted to get out there, he wanted to get playing. I don't think he's seen himself really not coming out until the final 3, but he did so, and he dispatched David Hogan. David, obviously, that had just come off the back of an absolute flyer against Ronan Fay.
Yeah, big time. David Hogan's been one of the best players this weekend. And Sean Walsh has been cold, really. I mean, we saw him yesterday, and he hasn't played at all today. He looked like he'd been on that table for the whole time. Yeah,
and he doesn't look nervous, does he? I mean, he's just taken out that finish quite efficiently, and 1-0 to Sean Walsh.
1-0 to Sean Walsh. That's something we might have to get used to saying.
Yeah, it's a scary prospect, isn't it, really? I mean, how many players were as good as him at 19?
Yeah, I don't think too many. I think Sean has the ability and the talent that if he stuck at it, we could be, won't be too long before we're putting him in the bracket of Ronan McCarthy, Stevie Dempsey, Declan Brennan. I mean, we've seen such an array of talent. Best of Irish pool, here this weekend, and to be directly involved with it with me, I have to say I'm absolutely proud of the whole team. I think everybody's sleepless nights and the work that they've put in has been been incredible, really. People don't really see what happens behind the scenes, and I think this event, we've nailed it on for the calendar as we go along. We see the buzz that's going on, and as we see the hammer break off here, I think this final is a testament to how good this event's been.
Yeah, and I think an absolute credit. Obviously, I've flown over for this one, and I mean, to see the work that yourself has done and Declan, obviously the two kind of main bodies behind Ultimate Pool Island, the work that Adam and Martin have done behind the scenes here, obviously clicking all the gears and clicking all the buttons behind the scenes and doing all the setup and all the hard work, the team that have worked at Rack Sports Bar, and to be honest, like, even the players that have turned up and made the event what it is, the crowd that have been behind it, this could not have gone any better for, I think, a maiden event, which was always going to have little slip-ups and little mishaps, but as a team, everybody got past them, and I think Ultimate Pool Island has fully showcased its full array of talent, and this is only going to get bigger now.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is live TV. This is our first event. We've learnt a lot going forward. I think we've put on an absolutely tremendous show, and that's simply down to the players. But, just a testament to the guys. You mentioned quite a few of them. The work that's gone on here at Rax Players Club, how good they've been to us, how accommodating. Their owner told me, our venue is your venue, and there's not a lot of people would be prepared to put it on the line. We have Martin here, we have Aaron, two Aarons, we have Aaron, we have yourself, and with the two referees that have come over. It's been a collective effort to make this event as good as it's been, and it's left the players wanting more, and I hope it's come across with the guys across the way as we see Sean Walsh here. What a shot that was.
I'll tell you what, Pierce, he's settled, isn't he? He has really settled, and he's still got a lot of work to do here, but he's set himself up.
Yeah, he certainly has. It's a tricky little cut along this bottom cushion, but if he gets this, Stevie Dempsey. Oh,
Sean,
he's just throwing one at it, just ever so slightly.
There was just a little bit of wing in that, I'm going to be honest. It was because it was quite a thin cut. He just had to kind of, get the white up and down a little bit, and unfortunately for him, he's just rattled it.
Yeah, he certainly has.
This is still not an easy finish for Sean, or for Stevie, but, I mean, an opportunity missed.
Yeah, it certainly is.
But Stevie's had a bad one there.
Yeah, he's just mishit that. We're all human.
Is that maybe? I'm going to be honest. I hate to say it because it's Stevie Dempsey, but is it a sign of nerves?
I think it is. I think Stevie enters this match. Everybody expects him to win, and he knows he's up against a talent, a young guy. But Stevie wants to win this. Believe you me. Stevie's a serial winner on Ultimate Pool across the water. But Stevie wants to win this. Stevie wants to win everything that he enters, and he's a consummate professional. But this could be. You're right. This could be a little bit of nerves. He hasn't really got anywhere to go here.
I think he's looking to play the lost of turn here. I think.
Yeah, I think he. Yeah.
Yeah, he tried.
Yeah.
He's got it, but I think he's left Sean this long yellow.
Yeah, it's going to be a test of queuing. And we'll really see how Sean Walsh fancies this. I don't think it goes to the middle pocket. I think Sean's just double checking that.
I feel like for Sean, though, I feel like this is the kind of thing that Sean needs. Sean just needs to go at pots. And if he's allowed to play that game, it's going to allow him to be fluent. And
it looks to me like he's looking somewhere to put the cue ball. I don't know whether that is for... Yeah, he's looking to play the safety there, and
he's had a bit of a result.
He has. That was a bit erratic, look.
Although he has left Stevie a pot still, and if I'm Sean Walsh, I see that as an opportunity to plot that long ball, because if you pot it, then the next yellow is a natural to land on the 8 ball as well.
Yeah, and I mean, he could have went for it and left the white, really where he's left it anyway. So he was leaving Stevie the same result regardless. And
I think Stevie's looking at this in off the red into the bottom left-hand corner. Oh, he's nowhere
just
near.
ducking it.
He's nowhere near.
Yeah, I think he's tried to land on top of that red, but he's given Sean Walsh an opportunity here. He hasn't got a great deal of margin for error in terms of landing on this last yellow, but
there's a lot of traffic. But I mean, Stevie just got nowhere near where he was intended.
And he certainly can't refuse a second chance against the player of Stevie Dempsey's quality. Sean Walsh.
Gosh, great pot. Has he got?
Has he got it? Has he got the flick? Oh,
He's just run one too far. He has got a double to the corner though, so this.
Is the 8 ball on the way?
I don't think it is. I think he can just slip the gap. I mean, could
It's tight.
I don't think he's got much of a choice though, Pierce, from where he is. I can't see another shot that he can really take on without leaving Steve in the table. Yeah, he's looking at it now, I think.
I'm not even sure whether he has a full pocket here.
Yeah,
It's the beeps. Oh, he's got it. Oh, what a shot from Sean Walsh.
Sean Walsh.
And Sean Walsh, this is going to hurt Stevie Dempsey.
Oh, that's huge.
This is going to hurt Stevie Dempsey. Sean Walsh comes up with a huge shot.
The nice bit about that shot was that because he had to play it at pace, it was always going to straighten that ball up. And because of how close he was towards that cushion, there was always a percentage chance that he was going to make that ball. As for Stevie, the shot before, he hasn't settled yet. And it's very rare that we say that Stevie Dempsey hasn't settled into a game, but he's thrown in a few bad ones.
I think he's tired. I think it's fatigue. You know, this is his 10th match.
Yeah.
10 matches out of 27 have involved Stevie Dempsey. I mean, Sean Walsh is fresh. You know, he's played 3 matches, well, 4 including the David Hogan match. This is his 5th match of the tournament, so he's played half the matches that Stevie's had to get all the way to the final.
And the thing about that, Pearson, is why we've enjoyed this event so much, is it is the luck of the draw. Say, for example, that Stevie had only been random drawed once and he's only played 3 games and he probably still comes in fresh. You know, he hasn't.
Hit ball. Oh,
white ball's made its way in, and once again, the split's not clean. There's work to do here, and as I say, with Stevie not quite settling yet, there is room for this to go wrong.
Yeah, there really is. I mean, there's plenty of time left on the match, but the clinical nature that we're used to from Stevie Dempsey has kind of evaporated from him, given how good he's been on the run-up in this tournament.
Yeah, it just feels like, in the start of this match, it just feels like Stevie slightly lost that invincibility cloak. And
Sean Walsh is buzzing too. Oh, Stevie, another mistake from Stevie Dempsey. Is that 3 mistakes in this match?
Yeah, 3 mistakes already. And I mean, Stevie will be absolutely burning in his chair right now because he knows the level he's been playing at all weekend. And this is the last hurdle. You can see him shaking his head at the back there.
Yeah, he certainly can. And he's left Sean Walsh on an opportunity.
And he's on this yellow into the middle. So actually, he's going to be opening the yellows up here.
Yeah, he just means because he's going to use this red. He's going to screw back into it. He just does not want to tie up the 8 ball. He's played that absolutely perfectly.
And it's all just going to be about now this yellow that's kind of closest to that right hand middle. That just needs to be landed on. And if he does land on it, then he'll be absolutely fine. And he's got the balls to do it with. But it's all just about composure. It's different in a final, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is. You know, it's the same arena, it's the same players, but I think just when the final comes, you know, and what's at stake, the inaugural event, the maiden event, on home soil, I just think it means a little bit more.
Yeah, that's a nice shot from Sean. I think he debated playing the plant at one point, but just with that yellow being slightly away from the pocket, he just didn't want to push it to the cushion, so good thinking that. Yep. He's got a little bit of angle here. He's a bit straighter than I think he would have wanted to be. So he might have to play this at a little bit more distance, but he's going to have a shot at this final yellow, which is what's so important, and he's got it to the middle, so he couldn't have played that much better. And he's at an angle here where I think he can use that red near the blue spot as a bit of a bumper.
I was just about to say that. I think the natural angle is just taking him into this red. Any sort of flick towards the right-hand side of it, yeah, full ball will do.
It's perfect.
Sean Walsh for a 3-0 lead.
This has been really, really good. Like, really, really good. Because any other player that's 19 years old, you're coming into your first maiden TV final against arguably the best player on the planet at the moment. And even though Stevie's faltering a little bit, you come in and you're playing that name, and he's just not faltered. Not faltered by one bit.
Yeah, it's he looks the epitome of composure there.
his face hasn't changed.
No.
His face has not changed.
He is a quiet lad. Now, when you do speak to him, he's a very quiet lad, but I don't know how I'm sure he's nervous. He's in a final of a major tournament against the best player in the world. He has to be nervous.
But you say he has to be nervous. If you told me who's the most nervous out of the two right now, you'd say Stevie.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I think given how the match has gone so far, I think Stevie will be devastated.
And is there? I don't want to say it once again because we're talking about one of the best players on the planet, and Stevie Dempsey.
It's a hammer of a break.
It's a big break when he needed it, isn't it? But is there maybe just a little bit of getting over the line issues? And the only reason I say that is because it wouldn't surprise me that he may have been hurting a little bit after the Players' Championship, which was the last big event he was in. You know, he had that 6 red shootout against Sean Chipperfield, which he was in full control of, and probably feels like he should have been in that final, but he just didn't quite wait for that white to stop, and it ended up costing him. And little things like that will hurt a player for a long time.
Ooh. Yeah, I think Stevie's got used to the battle scars of, that's pool and that's how we go. We can't win every event we enter, and Stevie, I think getting over the line is something Stevie Dempsey's been a specialist at this year. I think, I really just have to say it, I think it's a long day and it's a long bout in between matches. Maybe not so for Stevie, but to be able to kind of roll on, roll off, and to control the sort of fatigue, and, these guys as well, don't forget, they're 30-minute matches, so they need to know when they can eat, and they don't know when they're going to be on. All that sort of stuff plays in your mind.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't have that long a break, did we, really? In between this kind of morning's afternoon session and then evening session, we had about an hour. And then immediately you've got to kind of switch off and switch on from that as well. And it's a lot easier said than done.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing about the format of this tournament is, and we've actually seen that repeatedly as we've gone on through this thing, players that have sat there and not played, that's, they're getting further into the tournament, and it's great, but it's been a hindrance to them because they haven't been able to kind of get sharp, and the outer tables just play so differently, to how that main arena table plays. And with the cameras, the lights, the atmosphere, it's brighter in there, it's warmer in there. You just can't prepare for it.
Yeah, Stevie just a little bit closer to the cushion again than maybe you would have liked, so might just have to dig this a little bit, but it hasn't been the tight cue ball that we normally know from Stevie. I mean, I know obviously he's still getting through this clearance.
What a shot.
And it's a great shot, and he's probably from this point going to get there, but you can just see the signs of Stevie's fatigue here.
Yeah, but this will make him feel a lot better. Stevie Dempsey with a routine 8-ball to reduce arrears.
Yeah, 4-3. 3-1. Sorry, my apologies, 4-3. I don't know where that came from, but
I think we're all fatigued at this point, Luke.
Long day, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, 3-1 to Sean Walsh as things stand. But half the match clock used. So, time is starting to join Sean's favour. And if Sean can get another frame on the board here, then it would be huge.
Yeah, it certainly would. I think this is a massive frame in the context of this match. We're halfway through in terms of the match clock. 4-1 is a massive deficit to come behind. Now, we never ruled Stevie Dempsey out of anything.
Never.
Given how he goes, but I think Sean Walsh, it's his break. He stamps the authority on this. It's going to be a long way back for Stevie Dempsey, so this is certainly a frame that Stevie knows it. This is a frame Stevie needs to win.
Once again, going for that cut break. I did say in the last game we have been overdue a golden break for a little while, so
it's there.
Oh, wow! I thought I'd just pulled off the best commentator call of all time then, but unfortunately didn't quite drop in. But it's a good opportunity for sure.
Yeah, I think he's maybe got second prize, if there is such a thing off the break. With golden breaks in play.
Yeah, you've got the yellows here. This
they all have a pocket.
This opening shot just needs to be a little bit exact. Oh, and he's perfect here.
Perfect angle. These are the two most difficult balls on the table for him to land on, and he's played that
just
perfection.
Needs to screw back to somewhere parallel to where he is now with that white. Oh, he didn't need to be there.
He's given himself a lot more work than he needed to.
Yeah, he's immediately looking up to maybe take this one long. All he had to do was just kind of screw back a ball or two just to kind of where he was and just take the thin yellow.
Yeah, I think that was a little rush of adrenaline into the elbow, and that's why we're watching him just line up this much more difficult pot. He can't get position on the ball that he played on, so he's having to reroute. Oh, he's changed his mind.
He can get this, but he's got to be able to top off the two, which is why I prefer this shot, because for this is more a case of just potting the ball.
Yeah, if you make it and you land where you want.
Oh, he's missed it by a way.
Missed it by
That is the first sign of nerves really from Sean.
He's missed that thick, and it was basically to control the cue ball.
Yeah.
He needed to catch it as thick as possible. The cue ball was going to run away, and he couldn't get position on that most difficult yellow down at the bottom of the table. But he's handed reprieve to Stevie Dempsey. An obvious problem just below that left middle pocket.
The one that I just over towards the right hand side, right middle pocket as well, needs to be landed on, and you can't do a lot with the cue ball from there either. So there are just a few here that Stevie's just got to bear in mind. And
yeah, it's not an easy finish, but it's definitely one that he has to get.
This is the kind of one that Stevie really needs to hone in on. It's one that he's normally such a
Tried to flick
specialist
that ball.
He tries to flick it and he's way off it, and he can't cut it back either from the overhead. So yeah, no, that is now going to be an issue unless he can he just trim it back. He's been a bit fortunate if he can. Yeah.
Oh, he could.
That was a little bit fortunate because even an eighth of a roll further and he's not on that ball.
Our overhead view cheated us a little bit there, Luke. I didn't think that ball went.
Yeah, I didn't. Now it is an opportunity for Stevie.
Yeah, it certainly is.
Yeah, and he's played a good shot there.
This one certainly goes to the middle.
And he's just going to take his time here just to make sure, because this is a big framing context.
Yeah, as we alluded to at the start of this frame, Stevie Dempsey did not want to be looking at a 4-1 deficit in this final. We started with 28, and we have only 2. Cavan's man, Stevie Dempsey, Sean Walsh, all the way from Cork.
Yeah, very good from Stevie.
Good friend of Gary Bracken is Sean Walsh that we just left. Do you struggle with the accent with Gary at all?
Just a little bit. No, I mean, Gary's such a good conversationalist, and you know, he was just really excited about Sean getting this far, and obviously when you're close friends involved, you feel it a bit more on a personal level, and it was really good to chat to him actually while he was playing David, and it was an interesting scenario, obviously with David potentially getting that extra life as well. If that had have happened, I think everybody would have hit the roof, and you know, as it is, Sean's in this final, and I think Gary's just really proud of him and hoping he can just push on and get the final done.
Yeah, again, it's another component to this tournament. You know, that extra life and the way that the way that it works. The way it could have been that David Hogan was back in the tournament, and then Sean would have had to pick between David and Stevie.
Well, I said to Gary, I said it wouldn't surprise me if Sean had called out Stevie if David had got the extra life back. And the only reason I say that is it's so tough to beat the same player twice in a row, especially somebody of David's quality, and also because of the fact that Sean had the double bounty on his head, which meant that Sean would have earned more just for beating Stevie than he would have done for just beating David.
Yeah, it's yeah, but I mean, it actually, it's what I love about the dynamic of this tournament, because you've got to be strategy. You know, you've got to be able to strategize. You've got to be able to pick. You know, we saw with David when he had to choose between Sean and Stevie, he knew that if he picked Stevie, because bounty on bounty, there's no extra life in play. So he knew that if he picked Stevie,
he was out.
If he picked Sean, that you know he always had the option that if he lost, you know that he'd be able to possibly win that extra life. It's funny how these old generators go. We had last man standing over in Stoke, the pro event. We've had last woman standing last weekend. Now we've had last man standing in Ireland, and no extra life has been won over those 3 tournaments.
I've got to be honest, in terms of drama, I think this has been the best of the 3, because there was just no predictability about it, and you know, every time you thought that something was going to go one way, it ended up going the other. I mean, as I say, we've got Sean in the final, who wasn't a bounty, and to be honest with you, probably wasn't in the top 10 to be favourites for this tournament. But he's found a way, and he's got there, and now all of a sudden he's got a chance of winning a major title. Whereas I feel like with the last man standing, there was that bit of predictability about it. Not in a bad way, but just people were picking and strategizing a lot. And I think in the last women's standing, we kind of ended up with all of the bounties towards the end. So, in a way, you know, the way you'd predict the tournament was the way that it went. But, as I say, it's a great scenario here for Sean. No matter what happens, I mean, there's going to be so many people that have grown fond of him and create a kind of a new fan base, really, in Ireland for another young up-and-coming player. All Stevie's missed. I think I don't know if Stevie was playing the pot or not, but it looked like he was, and I think he just flicked that red on the way through. So I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, I think he's left an opportunity for Sean. But
I think he has.
It'll be interesting to see how he goes about this.
He
does have choice.
It's a tough opener, but if he was able to get in and around the balls, then this is actually a golden opportunity, because I think that the yellow of the two that are together, one of them passes into the left middle. So
looks like he's going reds. Was he playing on the long yellow? No, he's taking the reds.
It's a nice pot in the middle.
It was.
Very nice pot in the middle, especially if you've got the gap, which I think he has.
It's interesting to see how he goes about this, Luke, because I, like you, I think yellows were my choice, but maybe he just thought the opener was too tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just flicked that.
He's
gonna need a good shot here.
Okay. He is still okay here because of the fact that if he makes that pot, the red's guaranteed to flick out. But he's also got these two up the table, so he can work up, take those, and come back down again.
Looks like he's trying to come down for these two now. He has.
Great bit of
He's
queuing.
played that well.
And he's on the bottom one as well, which is even better. Because he's now, if he makes this next ball, he's going to have the natural to come out. So
he's just bridging slightly.
He's just got to make sure of this pot. Brilliant. And now he's just got to come up the table. Just avoid sitting in behind the 8 ball or doing anything silly. Brilliant shot from Sean.
Fantastic shot from Sean Walsh.
And once again, it's just a situation of don't do anything silly. Don't cannon this yellow. If you avoid the cannon on the yellow, you're on the 8 ball.
He's just taking in, yeah, and I think that's exactly why he's played it like that, Luke.
Perfect.
What a shot from Sean Walsh. You see the top of the leg from Stevie Dempsey. He knows how good that was. Sean Walsh, a little check of the match clock. I think it might be a little bit early to think about running the clock down now, Sean, but that's certainly given a blow to the hammer.
But this is... He stood up to the pressure in that last frame because he had that opportunity and missed it in the way that he did. He could have been very liable to just, start to fold, knowing the pressure that was up against him, knowing that Stevie had got his arm on the table at that point and had won 2 on the spin, or 1 on the spin. But Stevie missed his opportunity in that frame, and Sean really stood up to the pressure and put on a really good finish.
Sean's punished Stevie every time that he's, more or less, that he's made a mistake. And, I mean, we expected that. If he's going to win this tournament, that's what he would have had to do. It's not often Stevie Dempsey gives you chances, but it's taken them in a major final. That's going to be the thing. And we see Sean Walsh.
And he's back on break here as well.
He's back on break. We've just over 8 minutes left in this match. And Sean Walsh, with this break, he's got this 8 ball close to the middle pockets.
Yeah, it could fly again. You never know. Can he get the 8 ball in motion?
It's moving. It's not going to make it, but
he's made another ball again. So he's absolutely fine. And look at the split on the reds.
Oh, my goodness. Sean Walsh.
Look on the split of the reds. If he gets this plant right down the way, and he gets into his work in the middle of the table,
I don't think he even needs to.
Yeah. If he gets this next shot right, he's in.
Yeah, I think he avoided the plant there. Basically, he had to double kiss the ball. It just wasn't sitting right in the pocket, and that's why he's elected not to do that. But he's absolutely, I can't really see too many obvious
The issue is probably going to be this next shot, and the reason I say that is this cut to the middle. He's just got a bit of traffic and he's playing with a bit of fire at the top end of the table. But he's played a beautiful cannon there, and he's got the gap of the two. He's got the gap of the two, which makes things even better for him.
Yeah, he certainly has. He's just given himself more options. He's a little bit fortunate to land on the gap of the two, but it wouldn't really matter because he has the one over on this left-hand rail to connect, and I think that's probably the way we're going to see him go.
This is the only way this can go wrong is if he doesn't land nice on this one on the rail.
Yeah,
But he's perfect.
it's perfect.
But he needs to make sure he screws past that middle pocket, gives himself the angle to come up for that 8 ball. So this is all just about your clean cueing, Sean.
Just about where he had left his cue.
Oh, sure.
Oh, that's perfect. He couldn't have placed it better with his hand.
And now you just got to make sure you don't flirt with the top pocket.
Yeah, you don't want to be anywhere near that. Sean Walsh, you have been sublime.
That's pretty good. Maybe wanted another roll, but he's absolutely fine. Just make sure this 8 ball.
This has been an incredible performance from Sean Walsh.
Well, we were kind of saying pre-hand that obviously this is just an opportunity for Sean, that he was going in a huge underdog. But yeah, as it's turned out, I mean, he's not given Stevie a look in, really.
No, and I mean, the atmosphere down there is absolutely electric. That arena is packed. It's been full since 10:30 yesterday morning. I've been said it many, many times, but the only complaint that I've had is nobody could get in.
Yeah, nobody could get near it. I mean, especially when, talking of highlights yesterday was when Stevie called out Rab, and the moment that happened, oh my God! As somebody that was presenting in it, I couldn't get close. I was stuck in the comms box. I was up here trying to find out what the score was.
Yeah, we've had a few times, even when I've been trying to get into the arena, you're trying to push people out of the way. It's been absolutely jam-packed in there. I mean, it's a real testament to pool in Ireland in general. We've had people travel the length and breadth of this country, of this island, just to actually be here to watch.
Yeah. And I mean, what a tournament we've put on here.
What a break from Stevie Dempsey.
Stevie has got to fly here. 5 minutes, just over 6 minutes left on this clock. Yeah, let's just see what route he's taken here. Has he gone yellows? He has. Left himself a little bit thin on this, but shouldn't be too big an issue.
There is time here, but I mean, Stevie Dempsey has to play no miss pool, and he's got to play it relatively quickly.
Oh, he's okay. He just doesn't want to create a buffer around that 8 ball. I think he's just avoided that. So
he's made it slightly trickier, but I think he'll be absolutely fine with it.
Yeah, and this is a good opportunity that Stevie really needs to take out. The only issue I can really see is that yellow towards the bottom of the middle cushion.
I think he'll just stun this in and then play the plant, leave the angle on the plant just to screw in.
It's just one shot.
No, he's playing for it now.
He's playing for the double. Great shot.
There you go, Stevie. The top of the leg from Sean Walsh. He knows how good that shot was.
Yeah, and just one more good positional shot here just to land on his final ball, and he should be home and hosed in this frame, but a quick fire finish is exactly what he needs here, Pierce.
Yeah, it certainly is. It's a quick fire finish. Sean Walsh will break after this. Will he break for the match, or what way will it go?
Do you know what Gary said to me earlier? He said if Sean Walsh's break's working, he said Sean Walsh is definitely a factor in this final, and that is exactly how things have panned out. His break has been so good, and
Stevie, what about that first shot? Stevie Dempsey
flying that white ball around the angles, perfect on the 8 ball.
Just the 4 cushions?
Yeah, if they're there, you may as well use them.
He is certainly entertaining that crowd as we see rounds of applause.
Yeah, and you can see everybody watching along there. You've got James Nesbitt in the back there. You've got Thomas Morrow in the back there. Obviously, players that were...
Gary Bracken just in there too. They're playing for that lovely big trophy.
But the thing we're forgetting here, Pierce, Sean only needs one more. So once again, that golden break, if he hit it, he'd win the whole title with it.
Absolutely.
But 4.5 minutes left on the clock. It's an interesting scenario here. If Sean was to make a ball, is this the point where you start killing the timer?
Yeah, I think this is sort of, he's getting there. He's 5-3 in front. He's playing the best player in the world. He's playing the best match time player in the world as well.
Yeah.
Best for the shot clock, best for the match clock. And we'll see how he goes. He's got this 8-ball moving every break in this match. Will we see it? Sean Walsh requires one frame. Didn't quite move.
He's made a ball.
He's made a ball.
Made a ball. It's exactly what he needed. No matter what happened, he had to make a ball off of that break, and that is exactly what he's done. And the layout on yellows here isn't bad at all.
It certainly is not.
He's going to use his extension. Clever. Interesting, he's decided to go reds here. Interesting, he's decided to go reds here. He has got an opportunity here as well. He's just got to play this next positional shot right. Oh, what gap he's found there. What a shot that is. Sean Walsh, that is unbelievable to find that gap. Stevie just kind of slumped back in his chair a little bit there. But now he's a couple of good positional shots away. And he's right in behind this plant. Oh, this is a golden opportunity for Sean. Just don't take too much advantage of this plant into the middle. Just make sure of it. And that's what he's done. This is going to be the final pot. He's just come a roll too far on that. He's just got to make sure of this pot. Take your time, Sean. Take your time, Sean. Oh, what a pot on the reds. Sean Walsh. 19 years old. Out of nowhere has come through and won Ultimate Pool Ireland's last man standing. What an effort that is from the teenager. You know, non-bounty, just was excited to get out there yesterday. Just said, I want to get involved, I want to get playing.